We're live.
Oh, here we are. Welcome. It's Florida. We're open for business.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. D,
COVID free still.
welcome,
Crazy
D.
Yeah,
Scuba,
yeah.
as it is
salute
to,
everybody.
salute to you, man.
Another wonderful night in the podcast
Represent.
room. What you got? What you sipping on tonight, Scoop?
Orange Blossom Pilsner out of beautiful,
Orange.
sunny, COVID free Central Florida, Orlando, Florida, to be exact.
Wait, are we really COVID free?
Hell no.
I'm technically no,
Okay.
but
Never.
against
It
the
feels
rest
like
of the
it.
country, I mean, it's funny. You get into these conversations or even listening to the radio around here,
Mhm.
and everything is just like, Omicron, 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 Omicron variant, the Omicron. The only way to have a safe and effective holiday is to fucking get a virus, a shot. You need a shot. Get a fucking shot. I'm Donna Fauci or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
I was-
fuckface.
I was watching something on what's that guy that took over for Jon Stewart on the comedy show?
Stephen Colbert.
No, I think he did it too. But this is like a South African guy,
Oh, Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah.
Oh, Trevor. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good.
He's funny to me. He's got that dry sense of humor, that witty.
And he's got an accent which makes him almost instantly cool or an instant dick, depends on which way you look at it.
Yeah, it depends on if you agree with him or not. But he apparently in the last few days has been in some hot water because he said something to the effect of like it's interesting to me. He was quoting somebody that was like one of the head of either Pfizer or one of the developers of the new vaccine to tackle this Omicron variant. And
Did you just say Omicron?
what is it? Omicron? Decepticon?
It is a transformer, okay?
What is it?
It morphs.
Is it
and
Omicron?
transforms into
Yeah,
a
Omicron.
Okay,
Volkswagen Beetle.
that's right. It's
And it's
what's
in
that?
your lungs. and
It's Bumblebee.
it's doing 360s in your lungs.
All right.
Although it's not as bad, the Omicron. so-
Whatever. Anyway, so he was quoting somebody higher up.
Omicron.
To s- oh my, Kron.
That's the best shit ever. You're killing
Yeah,
it.
that was
tonight,
off
buddy.
the
Let's
dome.
go.
So
Let's go. You're killing it. You started off right with the Omicron.
oh my, Kron. So he was quoting somebody saying that they were advising everybody that they should get the new shot and the booster because you never know, like, you don't want to mess with this new variant. And he got in hot water because he was making fun or just being sarcastic about the whole thing, saying like the same guy who's like set to make all this money out of everybody buying his booster shot is the one that's saying, hey, just to be safe, you guys definitely want to get this new shot. And so all of a sudden now he's the bad guy for being sarcastic about it when he's really just stating his opinion and just being, which I thought that's what he gets paid for. But everybody's all butthurt about saying like, oh, how can he say that on national TV, and how can he express himself that way?
Living
Like,
in a free society, you can say whatever
exactly.
the fuck
Like,
you want.
Like, how dare
Yeah, I
you
just
speak
said
out about
fuck.
somebody? Dude, he's basically saying the guy who's getting ready to make all this money is saying, hey, you guys may want to get this shot because it's really like, what you should do. Yeah, get out of here. Of course you're going to say that because that's where you make your money from. But
Right.
I just,
I'm
we've
sorry.
talked about it for a long time, dude. I still don't have a shot. Me personally, I don't really believe in it necessarily. I'm not knocking anybody who decides to go get it, but dude, my family and I, so far, we're doing okay. We take the precautions necessary that we feel are right for us, and we just run with it. But I was gonna ask you guys, D, I can start with you or Scoob. Do you guys you don't have to say if you've taken a shot or not, but what are your feelings on that?
Scoop?
Scuba.
Oh, I've had 8 shots. I'm so pumped, full. I mean, I can lift like 10,000 pounds, bro. I mean, seriously.
You're ready for
10,000 pounds.
Omicron?
I'm so vaccinated. Like, no, the whole, at this point, the way that I think about this vaccination manifestation destination is ridiculous. I mean, at this point, if you don't think something is extremely awkward and weird and it's about your safety, I'm sorry. As much as this pains me to tell you, you're an idiot. And if you think I'm an idiot, that's okay. That's absolutely, you have the beautiful parts. We live in America and you can think I'm an idiot. But at the same time, I can also think you're an idiot because it's ridiculous if you think that it's all about your safety at this point. And if you don't see a repetitive nature that is coming from this, this is going to keep on. I mean, that would be like saying, the flu that comes out, it has had variations as well, and you get a flu shot, and what does it do? It lessens the severity. Okay, so with COVID, kind of does the same thing. This is not keeping you from getting it. Obviously, it's proven you still get it. So at that point, like, why are you getting a vaccination? Is a if you get vaccination for the measles, mumps, chicken pox,
right,
you don't get these things.
Right.
So at that point, like, where does the difference lie? And at what point do people start saying, this is weird, and stop being kind of like, well, I should get the vaccination because everybody else is getting it. And then I don't want to be looked at like a bad person, or I don't care about other people. Of course, I care about other people. But ultimately, I also give a shit about freedom. I give a shit about choice. These are very important things. And if they're slowly being taken away from us, or you're being forced to do things. I mean, to what extent do you expect the next thing? Maybe it's not a pandemic. It's not any of these kind of things that you just, I don't know. I have so much emotion and frustration over this topic that it's like I don't even know how to wrap my head around it and explain it sometimes, because it's just so frustrating to see that people are just so easy to be like, okay, I need a shot, stick it in my butt or wherever it goes. I mean, what the fuck? People, wake the fuck up, man.
Is your frustration because you feel like most people are uninformed and they're just followers and they just do what the next person does?
A little bit. I mean, I don't necessarily think that everybody's uninformed. I mean, we're all receiving the same information, and you're making decisions based on that information. So that information, though, at this point in time, like, you almost can't trust the information that's given to you by the sources. And this is why media is very important in a free society. When the media is in the pocket of one side or the other, the media is what represents the people in essence. I mean, they're what keep the government, true. Where if they're in the pocket of the government, well, then at that point, and they're out there spouting whatever they're spouting, and it's, obviously it's obvious more than ever that there are two sides in this country, and that there is not a free society, free thinking society. It doesn't exist anymore. It's either you're this or you're that, and you've got to be divisive. And why would we need to be divisive? Like, when you start breaking all these things down, well, then you can't have where somebody disagrees with somebody else. And now it's like, well, if you don't believe what I'm telling you, or you don't agree with me, go fuck yourself. And I hope you get put in jail, or, whatever the extreme is. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's like, at what point do people wake the fuck up and just really start to really pay attention? Because it's plain as day in my eyes, and in a lot of people's eyes too, and it's being, it's shown on a daily basis. This Fauci dude is the shittiest person as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he sucks.
What did he catch so much heat for? Because I thought in the beginning he was like the Bible for when it was new. Everybody like like hung on his every word,
Well,
right?
of
And
course,
everybody,
because it's new at that point,
and he's the
and
Right.
expert.
you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
dude, nobody knew what the fuck was really going on, so we're all in kind of like, I mean, dude, I was a face mask wearing dude like anybody else, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
dude, I'm not trying to kill other people, and I don't, you know, it's not like I don't care about the health and well-being of other people.
Mhm.
But then at a certain point, something started to just seem funny about it. You know, like when the swine flu was a thing during Barack Obama's presidency. Um, you know, this is a thing that a topic that came up and was like it was an ordeal for, I don't know, what a couple weeks it seemed like, at least to me at the time. Of course, I was not paying attention to politics. I'll be very fair and true about that. I was not paying attention to politics very much. What I did notice, though, is that they were making it into a big deal. Oddly enough, I happened to be in Mexico for a friend's wedding
Mhm.
at the time where the origin of this swine flu was coming from. While I was there, I noticed people wearing face masks and stuff, and I thought, I was like, what the hell? This is a little weird. You know, there wasn't anything that was saying, hey, there's a swine flu and everybody, you know, go fuck yourselves. You know, I mean, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. There's no signs telling you to go
Hey,
fuck
there's a
yourself.
swine flu, so everybody go fuck yourselves.
But I mean, but my point is that, you know, it was something that people were taking precautions on. So ultimately, bottom line of the story was it was very short lived, and we didn't shut down the entire country. We
Mhm.
didn't shut down, you know, the economy to keep people home. It was kind of, you know, it was just a very short lived thing. But it makes me wonder now if those instances of things that were to take place were they like test runs, right? Like, I don't know if this is conspiracy theory. It's just literally things that just kind of run through my mind. I don't consider myself a conspiracy theorist, but I do think that people, when certain things happen, there's, you know, cause and effect, right? Like all those kind of simple things that you've learned uh,
Mhm.
while you're in school. There's certain things that, you know, you do this and this is the effect of that.
Mhm.
So, you know, there's people way smarter than myself, way smarter than probably anybody here on this show, um, that think about things in a really fucked up way.
Mhm.
And I truly believe that that is what is going on. Like, there's people in society that are really sick human beings in the head, and this is, you know, it's all about it's about a power grab. It's about you know,
It's about getting
money. It's
rich.
about
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. But hey, I wanted to get back to D on the
Let's
whole
hit it, D. What do you got?
COVID scenario. Covered a little bit myself, what my thoughts are. Scuba kind of went on his thoughts with it and whether he's for it
Go
or
ahead.
not.
You can
Had
say a tangent.
a few stories, a few tangents. But D, so first let me just start off by saying, is it true that right now, up to date, we don't have, as far as you know, D, do we have any of the vaccines, booster shots, whatever shots that are out there? Do any of them prevent you from getting COVID or any of the variants, or you can still get it?
Yeah, you can still get it.
Okay, so nothing out there that they're offering like you must get it is going to actually prevent you from getting COVID.
Right.
You can still get it. You can still
Right.
die from it, even with the shots.
Right.
You can still pass it on to other people.
Right.
So why get it?
Right. So and that I think that was my initial when the COVID thing first popped off, and they were saying, you know, if you go get this shot,
Mhm.
then you won't get it anymore. You won't get COVID.
Mhm.
And you know, it was less than 6 months they were saying that. So I'm thinking in my head like, okay, nah, that's not true. I know off the jump it wasn't true.
Yeah.
And you know, me and Kel, we talked about it, and I tell every day like, yo, watch, you're gonna have to get another shot, just like the flu, because
Mhm.
people die from the flu every year.
Mhm.
You know, whether you get the shot or not. You know what I'm saying? People die from the flu. I mean, you can't stop the flu. I mean, there's probably a vial somewhere in some bunker that is the end all to the flu.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But
and cancer. Cancer's probably
and
right.
cancer.
Yep.
Right.
And they'll never let it go.
They'll never let it go. You know what I'm saying? Because why not make everybody pay every year? You got 300 something million people in the U.S. If half of them people pay $10 to get a flu shot every single year, you're good. You know what I'm saying? Know, and the thing is it a new shot or is it the same shot?
We don't know. That's
you know what I'm saying. You don't know.
Water?
They say, "Oh yeah, we got a new strain of this. We got a new strain. So yeah, now you gotta come back and get the shot for the new strain." But who says that there's a new strain and who says that there's a new shot?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What if it's water with sugar and they just like
right.
That's the new.
Yeah.
I don't even know that they tell you like what's in it.
They don't. They don't.
But even if they did, if they told you what's in it, you wouldn't know.
Long Island iced tea, at least I can know what's in it.
They could say it's the flex capacitor juice, and you'd be like, okay.
Right. So we fast forward a year later, a year and a half later, and they're saying, now we need there's a new variant. No, before there was a new variant. Not even that was.
Yeah, there was the
earlier
Delta
this year. The
Delta
D
variant.
Yeah, the Delta variant.
Right.
The Delta variant. Okay, so now you gotta get the booster for the Delta.
Phonetic.
You know what I mean? And then now you gotta get another booster for the Would you say?
I said Omicron.
Omicron. The Omicron variant. You know what I'm saying?
How do you think they come up with these names, bro? Because like I'm thinking like, dude, all right, Delta. Okay, they've obviously there's been a, B, and C, so they're on D. That's Delta.
Right.
And then you get to Omicron. It's like somebody back in a lab being like, yo, let's fucking make this shit sound real scary. Like
that's his last name, dog. His last name is Omicron. Bill Omicron.
Probably. That's funny, man.
I made it up. We use my name. Nah, but just going back, at the beginning, they say if you get the shot, then you're good. You won't transmit it. You won't have to wear a mask. You don't have to do anything.
You know what I'm saying? Take your mask off. You can
you can take your mask off and everything. So if you're fully vaccinated, you can walk around with no mask on.
You can take your mask off.
But now they're going a whole 180, saying, okay, well, yeah, now because you got basketball players, football players, they're fully vaccinated. But they got to sit out games because now they're on the COVID list. How you get on the COVID list and you are fully vaccinated? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So what's where's the trick at? Where's the trick?
Right.
I mean, somebody's lying.
They steady hitting you with the banana in the tailpipe joint.
They catch them. You know what I mean? They catch them left and right.
Hey, and the crazy thing is, you bring up NBA players. There's because I follow NBA obviously, and there's players who have all the booster shots. They're up to date all the way, and they're still sitting out because they're under like COVID protocol because they got the virus. So again, going back to what you said, now I know they're not advertising saying, hey, if you get the booster and the shots that we're saying, you are immune to it. They're just saying you probably won't die from it and your symptoms won't be that bad. Well, to me, again, going back to myself, that's not a high enough selling point for me. I'm like, if I'm still going to be able to get it, if you told me tomorrow that any of these new booster shots that you're offering would make it so that I could not contract the virus, then I'm there. I'll probably do it. But because that's not what they're saying, I'll take my chances, man. Honestly, and
if the Kardashians were promoting that shit, would you be all over it or what?
What's that?
What if the Kardashians were promoting that shit? Would you be all over it? Would you be like, yo, dude, Kylie got this shit? I mean, fucking Kendall got this shit, and Chris and the whole family. So
if it came with a pair,
get this shot, man.
It came with a pair of Yeezys.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys remember they were like paying people to go get vaccinations?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. So nobody's paying for this, right? We don't pay for it. It's free. free,
No.
but somebody's making money off of this.
This is where it gets misconstrued as, when it comes to government, free is not a real word. It's free to those who spend your money as a taxpayer, right? Like the money comes from somewhere and it's ultimately very real at some point.
Right.
But yeah, to say it's free is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's money that's being spent. It's coming from somewhere. Somebody's receiving it. And well, at this point, it would be the people that are creating the vaccinations.
Mm-hmm. But
Right?
see, that's the thing. Like,
assume. They're not, the people that are creating these vaccinations are not doing it out of the kindness of their heart and want us to really like live and sustain a society.
Right. But how many times can they redo this, Dean? For the foreseeable future, they can keep coming out with these new variants and these new variations of the cure,
be a variant.
and it'll just go on and on forever.
Right.
They tell you by nature variants happen. It's the bacteria or whatever the proper
virus is trying to survive.
is trying. Yeah, exactly. So it mutates. It mutates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it will continually do that. So therefore, are we supposed to just continually be on lockdown or have face mask mandates or fast mask mandates? I mean, whichever one you want to go with, it's cool.
Mm-hmm. The thing that kills me is this. Do you see these kids that they're supposedly wearing masks, but it's like under their nose and like under their chin like this?
Right.
What are you doing? You're not wearing a mask. Oh, no, it's COVID. I got to wear it. What do you got a strap under your damn chin? Like, what's that protecting? I don't know.
Just kick him square in the nuts when you see him. Square in the nuts. Right here.
It's the whole thing is bigger than us, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like School was saying, like I think it's bigger than us.
Dude, and it's not a Democrat, Republican, blah blah blah. It's
just some dude or group of dudes sitting up there
like, well beyond
our chess with the world. You know what I'm saying? Let's play chess with the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
see,
what it is.
How much shit we can stir up.
D, have we talked about that? Like that sounds like some shit I've said. Like there is literally somebody being like, watch this. We're gonna make this happen.
Checkmate. Yeah.
Right.
Boom. Drop the mic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, checkmate, bitches. We'll go to last break. We'll come back and then we'll wrap it up on the COVID. And then back on. Let me ask. I'm going to start with Scuba because this is something that's been bugging me from the beginning. Scuba, do you think that COVID was invented in a lab on purpose, or do you think this was really just something they were like, holy shit, we've discovered this thing that's affecting people and we don't know where it came from?
This is a very real question. I think
that's that deep
asking.
Stuff, baby.
This is a very real question. My honest to God thought about how this thing exists is obviously, I think it's been proven. In a society where what's fact and what is not real, or I don't know, however you want to label it, a lie, just not the truth. It's tough to tell in a society when everything is so divided these days. So when you hear things of it being man-made, think about a love bug. We live in Florida. There's love bugs here.
Yeah.
Right.
They suck. I hate those things.
Yeah. And those were man-made. They were actually designed. Of course, anybody is more than welcome to look this up and prove me wrong. But I believe that the premise of the love bug was initially to kill mosquitoes. They were designed.
I read that somewhere. Yeah.
To fuck up mosquitoes, because mosquitoes are very prevalent in Florida because of how wet it is here. So again, when you hear, those are kind of some of the simple things I think about. Like, why would you create a bug that sucks? You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna create a bug that sucks. It does nothing actually.
But originally, the thought was it came from a good place.
We're told, the thought was, this thing is going to fucking end mosquito problems in whatever areas. All we got to do is release them out there, and sure enough, sure as shit, 2 times out of the year, love bugs show up and fuck my car up. Thank you.
They do, because for those who don't live in Florida, the love bugs that we call them here are these big ass freaking gnats that just fly everywhere. Was it twice a year, Scoop?
It's twice a year. Yeah. Normally there's like a season, I think, early in the year and then towards the later part.
And apparently their blood will actually remove the paint off your vehicle. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's
They
true.
don't even own blood. They have like guts. That's it. Like it's just shit.
It's some
that
acidic, something that will
your car, man. I
it's
mean,
horrible.
Your paint job, it's terrible.
They've taken over, and although the original releasing of them was for, I guess, a good cause, it kind of backfired. Just like a lot of, I mean, I've heard the same thing about what are those feral hogs? Is that what they're called? They're like kind of a pig, a wild pig, but with tusks.
A screw out of a that's got a head that's not.
Feral hogs, man. We'll talk about that in another. But anyway, go ahead, Scoop. So you're thinking this virus, this COVID is.
I definitely think that it was one man-made for sure, and whether there's a cover-up with the Chinese government or not, that all remains to be seen. Ultimately, do I believe that? Yes. Why? It's not like, what's the premise here? Like, it's in the glass and it's got out the lab. Sorry, guys. You know what I mean? Like, we're spilling it. It's in a glass. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, wait, how did this escape the lab?
You know gotcha.
Mean? Like,
yeah.
Right.
I didn't know what they were.
Right.
What do you think, D? You think that it was a purpose, like a financial purpose? Like somebody said, hey, if we invent this, guess what? We'll make a ton of money because people will have to get this shot and we can charge them all for it.
Who's gonna clean this shit up over here?
I think along the same lines as the love bug thing is that everyone's saying it started in China. Me personally, I love Chinese food, Hong Kong house.
Shout out Chinese people.
House represent, baby.
Shout out Hong Kong house, the best Chinese food ever in Virginia. But I mean, everybody's saying it started in China, and China is the most overpopulated place in the world. Like they got Chinese people on top of Chinese people on top of Chinese. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, is it China or India? It's probably China, right?
China, yeah, China has the most. So I mean, I can definitely see China doing something to control their population. You know what I'm saying? But being that there's other people in China visiting and working there and blah, 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 and going to other countries, from other countries and going back and forth to their, respective countries. In the scheme of trying to control the population, then other people catch it, they take it to wherever their home. I mean, that's just my take. I think it was more of I think it was man-made. I think it was supposed to stay where it was supposed to stay.
Gotcha.
But it got out. To
kind of like it was made to like reduce the population, maybe thin it out some.
Yeah.
But it backfired a little bit.
I think it's the same as anything else that comes out. Any other disease or viruses or whatever. I think it's all man-made. Because we're the type of people that we like to experiment. We like to experiment. I mean, even us. I mean, we experiment on a small level.
Back Eric with that thirsty show.
Eric is actually coming to you guys. Well, it won't be live by the time you watch us, but right now it's live, and he's coming to you live from the UPS in Longwood, Florida.
Got a nice fridge here that's full of nectar of the gods, and got an awesome outlet right here.
I'm coming to you from Trump Tower's amazing office.
The struggle's real, but
wait a minute. Were you just asking me a question?
Yeah,
we just answered it though, because we know you're gonna
we-
go
we-
Did
on
you
and on with
did you
that.
did you answer
Yeah,
answer
we
the
answered.
question for
So,
me?
all right, so check this. And
Yep.
this is kind of so when
D, I didn't even give my answer.
when
I mean, I don't
AIDS
really-
came out, when HIV came out,
we're coming to
right.
you, Scoop.
when
Mhm.
HIV came out, and it was rampant.
Mm-hmm.
If the government said, "Come and get a vaccination,"
What are you
know what I'm
watching?
saying?
Something on
Why
the
is that
sidebar
funny?
or something?
You know, wait,
It's funny,
wait.
bro. What are you watching? Something on the side?
If the government said it's mandated that you come and get this HIV vaccine, we're going to give you
Mm-hmm.
a little piece of the HIV, and then who will go get it?
And then you won't catch it.
And then you won't catch it. But who will go get it?
No.
Nobody.
No.
Like, so what sense does it make?